Now, festival season is here. So in North India, while all of us love the festivities over here, we're all dressed like it. We want to go out and get some cheer, really, especially after the last 2 years that we've had. But with festival season comes in, if you're living in Delhi NCR and most part of North India, pollution comes in, allergies as well. I mean, I clearly have one, so I can speak about myself, but so many other people I know are down with a very strange flu, which takes longer to leave you. It requires a more heavier dose of antibiotics as well. And kids especially, those who have weaker lungs, weaker hearts as well, all of them back doing the rounds of the hospitals as of this moment. Nebulizers are out, and at this moment a lot of air purifiers being advised as well. So we thought, let's do a show for you where we'll talk about the do's and don'ts, something we must adapt now as adults and also as kids come this flu and allergy season. So without any delay, let's get started with our explainer. We'll talk about the adults first. What should you be doing to save yourself from air pollution? Some do's and don'ts. Now, one no-brainer really is to start with stay indoors as much as possible. Wear a mask whenever you go out, and not any mask. That's important. So far, we were getting used to having just a cotton mask. If you're vaccinated, you didn't care, you could just take a clinical mask. But now, it's time to replace it with a N95. The other thing to do, very easy really and very, very useful, is to stay hydrated. Drink more water. This will actually help you flush out the toxins and harmful particles from your body. Start carpooling. This will help, and you will be doing your bit to bring down the air pollution levels as well. Follow a diet rich in antioxidants. This has been advised by lots of nutritionists as well. This basically detoxifies and improves your immunity as well, which generally takes a dip this time of the year. Now, this means that you can switch to foods which are high in fatty acids as well. You can take such as a fish, you can take pineapple, you can take kiwi, you can take onion, peppers, everything else. All of this really actually put together helps in anti-allergies. Don't avoid outdoor games and walks, but preferably before sunrise and after sunset is when you should actually, should not be going out. So it's opposite to what you would be doing other times of the year. Now, avoid gardens and plants, and this might trigger an attack as well if you are allergic, that is, and avoid areas where there is a lot of smoke. Parking lot, people don't understand, is one area actually where there is a constant combustion also taking place. So that's one place that you must avoid if you're sensitive to allergies and often tend to fall sick this time of the year when the weather is changing. Let's talk about children now. And why is it that children have the worst of the pollution really? Now, every year exposure to air pollution is estimated to cause 7 million, I'll repeat that number, 7 million premature deaths. This is not to sort of throw you off and alarm you in any way, but just to bring to you how big a killer air pollution really is. Obese children have 79% greater chances of having asthma as well. Children affected require nebulizers, especially this time of the year. Children are prescribed inhalers and therapies due to recurrent cough and respiratory symptoms. Nebulizers should be kept at home as a prevention measure as well, because you don't know what might trigger an attack sometimes. And common symptoms of respiratory trouble, these include inflammation of the nose and lungs, red and sore eyes, sleeplessness, prolonged nasal discharge. So if your child has not had any symptoms so far but is showing this time of the year, then you definitely need to go see a doctor, and he'll probably tell you that there is an allergy at play as well. Now, why is air pollution more harmful to children? Well, that's because children are more vulnerable to breathe in polluted air than adults. They're always wanting to go out. Festival season is here. Kids who've been home throughout the year really want to step out, but you've got to be careful, especially this time. Children airways, remember, the kids' airways are smaller and still developing, so they take a harder beating. Children breathe more rapidly than adults as well. And if children breathe high levels of air pollution over a long period, that might be a risk as well. Their lungs not working as they grow older. developing asthma during childhood or as an adult. If they don't have that already, you have coughs, you have issues with your lung, etc., infections, pneumonia, etc., all of that can actually set in. One solution, let's talk about that, and something that is now highly prescribed if you're staying anywhere in Delhi NCR especially, is to have air purifiers. Now, why is it important to talk about air purifiers? Because the first point, remember, I told you, was try and stay indoors as much as possible. But even air indoors is at times not just as harmful but more harmful than the air outside. That's why you need these air purifiers. Advice for people especially who have respiratory diseases and have dust allergies. They control the quality of air, so you are in a better space there, and they get rid of the allergens, pollens, dust, pet fur, etc., if those are the things that you are allergic to. Some air purifiers also absorb the odor from varnishing, etc., which is a good thing to do. But you need to get the right air purifier really. So you need to figure out where you want to place the air purifier. Something will not do. You will have to calculate how the air purifier is, how big is it, how big is the space that you're putting it in, how many people are going to be taking in air and going to be in that vicinity. So all of those things need to be worked out. In fact, we did a full episode on air purifiers. Is it magic or is it myth? Around the same time last year. So it's a good time for you to go back and have a relook at that episode to finally make a good calculated decision. Some basics to just revise for you right now is look for an air purifier which has an HEPA filter. That's extremely crucial, especially for the areas that we are living in.